So DC has a zombie storyline called DCceased, a storyline in which a techno-organic virus is spread throughout the DC universe, resulting in not only the abandonment of Earth, but major heroes dying. And as we continue on, we see even DC's Godhead is not safe. Now my name is AJ, and let's get into it. So the story actually starts in a flashback of Krypton during the extinction level event of Brainiac, as Brainiac comes to do Brainiac things, capturing cities, leaving the rest of the planet to die. And of course this follows a normal story. Superman gets sent off along with Kara, Supergirl, the cousin of the Man of Steel. But unfortunately, here's where things differ. You see, as a comic goes on to narrate, it says, though Krypton will be long gone to you, it will seem like no time has passed. We have searched throughout the entire universe and found a planet in which you will have incredible abilities. But you will not be alone in this. There will be others in this world with fantastic powers. As in this universe, instead of sending her to Earth, they sent her to New Genesis, home of DC's new gods. But unfortunately in this universe, New Genesis and the inhabitants of it got infected by the anti-life equation, or the Techno-Organic virus. So they basically became undead slaves of the anti-life equation, wanting to do nothing but spread the virus to more living counterparts. And unfortunately, to Supergirl's dismay, she is not strong enough to take on all of the new gods and gets captured in turn, just adding to the list of all the other heroes such as Wonder Woman, Batman and other associates, and even Superman the Man of Steel himself, which we will actually get into as it is really important and ties into the story later. But for now we pick up with the Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, but not the normal Trinity you may think. You see, the original three lineup, Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, and Diana, are either all dead or corrupted by the anti-life virus. So these three, Batman, who is Damian Wayne now, the son of Bruce Wayne, Superman, who is Jonathan Kent, the son of Clark Kent, and Wonder Girl Cassandra, who's taken up the mantle of Wonder Woman. And what is this new Trinity talking about, you may ask? Well, they are planning a trip to the center of the sun. And of course, with the Damian being this new Batman, he goes on to say, well, I could come with you. And with the new Superman saying, it's 27 million degrees Fahrenheit, Damian Wayne simply responds with, well, I'm Batman. But he is then joking as he then wishes the duo goodbye, saying, be safe, and if anything goes wrong, I will find a way to withstand the heat of a star to come after the both of you. And I also have no doubt that Bruce Wayne Batman, obviously giving enough time and resources, could absolutely put together some kind of plan or even make a suit that could withstand a trip to the center of the sun. Why? Well, because he's Batman. Anyways, we cut over to see the heroes in front of the sun as they put together a little squad. A team consisting of Superman, Wonder Woman, Miss Marvel, Black Canary, Green Lantern, Cyborg, and Cassandra Cain, who is now Shazam. And okay, right? You might be saying, well, this is a crazy powerful lineup. What could possibly even need this amount of power? Well, you see, while they're at the center of the sun, they're there for the original Superman, Clark Kent. As during the original events of the DC storyline, not only did he get infected and kill a bunch of people and heroes, but he also flew straight into the sun to start absorbing it. That's right, Superman, a Kryptonian, the man who thrives on solar radiation and energy, now under the influence of the anti-life equation, went to the center of the sun to start absorbing it, growing ever more powerful. And so with them now finding a cure for the virus, thanks to Cyborg, who not only brought the virus to Earth, but also is the maker of the cure, they now set out to not only capture and contain him, but cure and revert him back to the Man of Steel we all know. But of course, this will be no easy task, as this isn't just Superman we are talking about. No. This is sun-dipped Superman infected by the anti-life equation. But of course, their first step in the plan is for someone to go inside the core of the sun to get Superman out. So naturally, the job lands on Jonathan Kent, the new Superman. And as he plunges head first, Clark Kent Superman is already aware that they are coming. And so a fight ensues, with the comic even going on to say a being powered by solar energy has been absorbing a sun for 5 entire years. He was faster and stronger than anyone could have imagined. And as they make it out of the sun, the other heroes step in line to try and capture him, with the now new Green Canary using the greatest weapon in the entire universe to hold the unliving Man of Steel, but he shatters it like glass. And for them to even stand a chance to momentarily stop him, they need the efforts of everyone involved, including 2 Shazam level beings who by themselves originally could even pose a threat to normal Clark. with the comic even going on to say, between the strength of the heroes holding Clark, there was enough raw power to shift planets from orbit, and even then they could still barely hold him, as we see every single hero giving it their maximum effort to even barely stand a chance of holding a one-armed Superman, as his left arm was cut off prior to going into the sun by Wonder Woman. But they're able to hold him back just enough for Cyborg to get in close with the cure in hand. But just then we cut over back on Earth 2, a place where humans are now residing after they had to leave the original Earth due to the virus 2 days later. And we see two Lanterns, John Stewart and Guy Gardner, talking to Lois Lane, who is now the president over the remaining humans. And as they are talking, suddenly Stewart's ring picks up a signature of apocalyptic tech, a boom tube. And of course, fearing the worst, everybody gets in fighting stance as they think they are under attack. But as a bunch of figures emerge from the portal, it seems it is the heroes finally back from their mission, and they bring back with them something super important. Clark Kent Superman, now officially brought back from the anti-life equation, completely cured and even with a new cybernetic arm. To Lois Lane utter surprise, as he has been dead with the anti-life equation for 5 entire years. And of course, with everybody celebrating and some going their own ways, we see Batman, or Damian Wayne, depart from the group as he has his own problems to deal with. And in my opinion, is one of the most saddest things during this DCceased run. You see, we move over with Damian Wayne going to talk to Alfred, as they finally talk about and come to terms with what happened to the original Batman, Nightwing, and Robin. You see, with them now having the cure, everybody on Earth that was infected can now be cured and come back normally, but not those who have been killed in action. And you see, when everybody originally turned, Alfred was the one who had to defend the Batcave and himself from Batman, Nightwing, and Robin killing them. But of course, Damian responds saying, "There's no way you could have known. Even Bruce himself didn't know that there was a cure. You did what you had to have done." But Alfred, at this moment grieving, says, "Please do not try to absolve me of this. They could have been saved, but I pulled the trigger 3 times. I've killed my sons," which is absolutely depressing to think about what could have been and how they could have been saved. But sadly, in this new shifting universe, there is absolutely no time for grieving or even celebrating, as immediately the next day, Brainiac and his army approached Earth 2. But before the Green Lanterns and Earth's defenses can even sound the alarm, the two Supermans are already in action like that, blitzing and taking out most of the army just on their own. And with Brainiac's army out of the way, hours later, his main ship arrives. And of course, with Brainiac now here, everybody stops to talk for a second, not knowing if Brainiac is here to talk, to wage war, or anything else. But Cyborg then points out something. The ship, it looks damaged. He thinks something is amiss and wrong. And with Guy Gardner clearly thinking that this is a Trojan horse situation, Superman corrects him, saying Brainiac believes in his own intellect and power way too much to rely on simple deceit. So Superman, being the leader he is, decides to go in and check himself. But before he can get any further, Jonathan Kent, his son, stops him, saying, "No, I am coming with you. I lost you once, and I think from now you just need to accept that I am not letting you face danger alone anytime soon." Which is smart, because if one Superman is incredibly powerful, imagine what 2 can do, even to the likes of Brainiac. And as they cautiously make their way through the ship, the comic goes on to say Clark was ready to protect his son from any threat Brainiac posed. But Brainiac himself was no longer a threat, as they walk into the main hall and they see a broken, defeated, damaged Brainiac. And as he hangs there by wires, he says we have to stop them. The gods are dead, but they still come. They will poison the universe. The gods will end everything. A much greater threat was coming. As the comic then ends on that horrifying threat. But yeah, what do you guys think about this issue and story? Overall, even though it has its down moments, I think DCceased is a pretty good DC storyline. But this specifically, my only issue would be, I was expecting a little more, as they were hyping up this Superman, a sun-dipped, undead Superman who has been growing even more powerful for 5 entire years. I was expecting a bigger battle, but of course, realistically, the heroes would lose this. And in the parameters of the story, they needed him on their side for the even larger threat coming. But of course, that's just my thoughts. What are yours? Make sure to leave them down in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed, leave a like or even subscribe to keep up to date with our future videos. Thank you for watching. as always.